The mental side of things was probably the part that I struggled with most, and probably was the biggest point of emphasis on the second half of my career. As an 18, 19, 20-year-old, there's a bit of an ignorance is bliss in the sporting context. You just kind of think, hey,
Yes.
look, like, this is amazing. Everything's going great. I'm representing Canada, and you don't think about everything else. You think about, okay, I'm
Yeah.
playing my sport, I'm training, this is great. We'll win some, we'll lose it. But while things are going well, you constantly, you don't take that moment to just appreciate the
Mm.
significance of what you're doing, but also how quickly things can change.
The impermanence of it too.
Right.
Like
Absolutely.
that stage of 18, 19, it's going to change.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so when I think of my career as a whole in sport, it by no means took a linear trajectory to the positive, right?
Mm.
And the nuance in my scenario too is I was a goalkeeper. So you kind of are an individual position within a team sport. So by that, I mean, you face a lot of internal demons and kind of internal responsibility where you feel like and I love that. That was something that drew me to being a goalie,
Mm.
was I knew that I could impact the game for the positive or the negative, right?
Mm.
But I knew I also had to shoulder a lot of responsibility, whether
Wow.
whether externally and within the team. Everyone was very supportive, and it's like, no, we win or lose as a team. And that's, but I knew for myself, I had the power, or I guess I had the privilege of
Mm.
impacting outcomes based on my direct performance. If I played unbelievable, I helped our team. If I had a poor day, our team has to really carry me through the day.
No pressure, huh?
Yeah, right. And when we're talking about the
Yeah.
mental side of things, right? When you start
Wow.
thinking about and reflecting about your job in that way, it can be absolutely debilitating, right? You just put way too much pressure on yourself. And then
Yeah.
it's like, okay, how do I cope with this? How do I, because there's an identification period, right? You
Mm.
identify sort of gravity, significance, whatever. But it's okay. What are the strategies that I implement to not lessen them, but just be at peace with, like,
Right,
and
right.
also understand that that's what I wanted. Like, ever since I was a kid, this is exactly where I wanted to be, exactly the feeling that I want to feel. So how come I'm like worried about it now? Like, what is it? Is it a fear
Mm.
of failure? And if it's a fear of failure, let's address that head on. Is it
Mm.
a fear of letting other people down? Yeah, I definitely had that for a
That's
long time.
another big factor for everyone, really. This disappointment, fear of failure.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it just, I think it's over time gaining an overall understanding that you don't need to, you know, minimize those emotions. I think it's just
Mm.
far better to address them head on and say, yeah, that's normal. That's called being a human. That's called being
Yeah.
empathetic. That's called having emotion.
And it's time for a little pop quiz interruption. I'd like you please to guess, what is the percentage of people who are watching the content on this channel who have not subscribed? Are you ready? 97.5% have not subscribed. What? This blew my mind. That means only 2.5% of you have subscribed. Please help me change that. This makes a drastic impact on my capacity to continue sharing this educational content at no cost to you. All you have to do is press that subscribe button. If you have, thank you so much. Please continue sharing it with anyone you think can benefit from this. Thank you so much.
And it's just, okay, how can I channel whatever that is in the most positive way forward to give myself the best chance of success, or to put my best foot forward,
Mm,
knowing that it's still entirely unpredictable, right? There's some factors that are outside of my control, but I'm not going to
right.
let this impact, or inhibit my ability to put my best foot forward.
Hmm. You know how you're saying it? It makes so much sense. So it's not about I will stop having fear of failure
Mm-hmm.
before I proceed. You're not saying that, like, stop having any fear of failure or stop worrying about disappointment. That's going to be there, but I guess you don't let it weigh you down to a degree where it affects your performance. So, kind of working with it. And as you're speaking, yeah, I teach mindfulness and mindfulness based stress reduction. And that comes up often, even of like, okay, how do I stop my thoughts? Well, you can't stop your thoughts. So, how do we work with them so they don't spiral? Hello there, and thank you so much for stopping by this channel. I hope you find this content useful, and if you do, feel free to hit that subscribe button. It will really help me to reach to more people and keep this content going. Here we are journeying together, and let's see where this takes us.